Hello and welcome to our first game in the losers bracket. Yeah, what a name, and I'm part of that bracket as well. So here we are, all of us players that are part of the losers bracket. We have to stick together. No, but I think this is an interesting game because these two players, in my opinion, or as I see it, are about same level. So it should be an exciting game. And this time I'm gonna do it a little bit different because I only saw 2 replays available, which means they probably only played 2 games. And therefore I think that watching the first one, then we already know the result of the second, and watching the second one we already know the result of the first one. Not necessarily, it might have been that they haven't just haven't played the third one yet, but I assume that's why, because yeah, I don't know. Today we're watching Plantblock vs EnerGyz. Both really good players, so it will be exciting to see who takes this win. Let's see if I think the game is running cool. So EnerGyz in red chooses this spawn, and Plantblock chooses this as a starting spot. So two players who are valued differently as the best starting position. I think Plantblock might have the best long-term position, and Easy has the best, like, in the first few minutes position. Except maybe he's a bit far away from the energy. So Plantblock knows that it will take some time before EnerGyz has any energy. And just actually to kind of wrap up what I started with, this is the second match of the two, so that's why you probably don't know this map yet. And it's also because they have chosen, the loser, whoever that is from the first match, has chosen this map that we actually haven't seen yet in the ones that I've watched. So fun to see another map for once. Plantblock is going in a long line, and I think he is probably grabbing this to get some eco. Maybe this to get some gas right out the gate, but it could also be just because he wants this. Yeah, there you go. That's the eco with a port, a factory. EnerGyz also goes for eco. He goes for 2 fairly like backcapping barracks almost. These looks like they are meant for capping only, and he also sends 3 squads for capping, while Plantblock is sending 2 squads for capping. He has 3 factories and its tanks, so expect a refinery here soon. 1 barracks to support either to support the tanks or just to increase the capping speed. So that's an interesting start. Plantblock definitely has more units, and he actually also has the eco boost from the port. And he puts down another barracks. Well, let's see, 380 for Plantblock and 350 for EnerGyz, but EnerGyz will quickly catch up, I think, with all this capping going on. The question is if he can survive the initial push from Plantblock. Plantblock hasn't built the gas yet. Both are digging in. Just I wonder if these guys can reach each other when they're done digging. No, I can't. It must be fairly close. Plantblock is sending one tank, probably for scouting purposes. But these tanks won't be running for long. And now EnerGyz knows what's up and he's putting down an airport, and I think that's definitely the right choice. Because these tanks can start moving around and do all sorts of menace down here. So very good to quickly get some mobility in for EnerGyz. Question is if he's like, he obviously also have to defend it. And it's out in the open, so the tanks will actually have a option to spot this. For now, luckily for EnerGyz, Plantblock is focusing on the factory. And with the new patch, I don't think these tanks will make it. Let's see. They're driving so slow in the mountains and the forest. And that really helps out EnerGyz here. So Plantblock has some trouble getting those tanks through when EnerGyz is surrounded by mountains. So I guess those were just for an initial kind of scout slash potential snipe, because Plantblock is not building any energy. What he does instead is he's building SAMs now. And it could both be because he obviously just knows that planes are a real concern, but especially when you go tanks first, you will most likely push your opponent into building air, basically. EnerGyz is still putting all the resources or units from these two barracks into capping. And he puts down another barracks here, and he even, like, he does, I really like that he has just a few spare infantry from the entrenchment, and he uses them for just capping a few more territories, because he's not feeling threatened as long as these entrenchments are filled up. And I think that's it's a small detail, but it's just that small extra income that could turn the game around. Okay, but Plantblock realizes that this game will probably drag out a bit. So he's putting down, he has, I don't know when he built this, but it looks fairly new since it only produced one unit. But these are definitely also for capping. And Plantblock does the same thing as EnerGyz. Like, he feels okay, fairly safe down here. So on the way down for the reinforcements, they might as well just cap a few territories. So that's a good use of the resources. And EnerGyz trying to optimize the capping speed. Now let's see if I'm right about EnerGyz what's it called? Getting closer eco-wise. So 525 and 500. So he's already ahead. And that just shows how quickly these units can help you get more eco and of course the territories. That was a weird way to say it. It shows how quickly like capping territory can gain you that eco that this port also did. Two helis on the way. They won't do much since Plantblock already has 3 SAMs. luckily for EnerGyz, they're getting out of there. And EnerGyz already got the gas on the way. But Plantblock can actually reach them from here, and he will get this one. Almost. Almost. I thought he would get that one. I was close. And I just learned something, because I would have put a blue line to get them away from there and don't attack anything. But whenever I put a blue line, the helis, rather than like following it, they always start in the opposite direction and do like a small U-turn before they then head that way. So if I had the control over that heli, I would have lost it. So yeah, putting that attack command there, obviously since there weren't any units in range, that meant that the heli could just went straight for the point instead of doing all kinds of weird dances before it's moving. So I wonder what will happen if it's a blue point. Like, will it also do the U-turn, or will it move directly towards it? That's something I'll have to look into, because I've been so frustrated about that many times. Always losing my jobber. Because when the SAM is already within range and I'm doing like a haste blue command, due to the U-turn, they'll just die. Every single time. And that's how you know that my learning ability is very low, since I keep doing the same over and over and over and expecting better results. So don't do that. I don't know if this is to make sure there's not coming any commander drops, or if it just kind of is not managing them properly. But this is looking very scary. Because EnerGyz, he just doesn't have enough helis. Now he has to hope that the helis will stay out of reach of the SAMs. But Plantblock is on top of it and already moving the SAMs closer. And these helis will go down pretty fast, I think. That's one at least. They get a SAM as well. And one more heli. And this is just so important, because if EnerGyz could have killed all these SAMs, everything would just be up for sniping for the helis. And did he just lose a building? Wow, that's my attention span. He's holding on to this entrenchment, which is probably wise, because Plantblock has more units here, so as soon as he gives this up, he will just go for this barracks. But EnerGyz probably need to redirect some of these units to help out, and probably also this. I wonder, yeah, he already has. But he should probably have done that a minute or two ago, at least. Because this is looking very scary. That's more or less a arty blob, actually. That will be very difficult to recover from. He has to rely on somehow killing those SAMs and then having helis support him. And it takes a long time for his units to move across these mountains. They were great for defense when the tanks were coming in the beginning, but not very good now for his units to move through. Plantblock is further trying to get that eco up and running. He's actually 4. That seems a bit excessive to me, because I think you reach a point where it doesn't really matter if you have like 20 or 100 infantry here. They could be better used anywhere else, but please correct me if I'm wrong. But I could imagine that the advantage of the capping of speed capping speed of the capping will kind of decrease as you get more. So having 2 units instead of 1 will probably like double your cap speed, but having 50 instead of 25 will probably not. That's what I'm trying to say. So the return kind of will diminishes as you get more and more units. But what it's useful for is having an army over here when these capping armies collide. But there's a long time until that happens, and I think we might get a game over before that. What could be interesting though is building maybe a navy here and start pulling in some of these units straight into the back of EnerGyz space. You could go for if he had eco here, the gas obviously. But this is looking very scary. Let's look at the eco. 900 for EnerGyz, 700. So EnerGyz really is on top eco wise. So unfortunately, I think he felt too confident with the defense here. And you just haven't really gotten anything useful out of these helis. They have definitely not been worth the investment so far. So had he put up a stronger defense line with artillery, who could maybe fend off this army, then he'd be in a very good position with all those sorry, with all that extra eco. This will be tough to defend now, very tough. And rather than just keep throwing your helis into these SAMs, and I know this is very easy to say when you're just observing now and I have the whole image, but you could start thinking about, okay, how can I use these helis in another way or build another plane? Because he could move the helis over here. Let's see, no, sometimes I can't get the range up and to show, but he could move the helis over here, and even if they can't reach, he could once here and then move them onto here, and then he could start looking for eco, or he could start trying to hit the base. See, this is very good, and this is what he needed 5 minutes ago up here. Because these entrenchments with artillery is just so tough to move through. I think he might hold for a while here. Very good play by EnerGyz to accept the loss and put up a decent defense line way longer back. And now I'm just curious to see, it seems like he shut down the air completely. And I understand why he does it. It's hard to even have them, what's it called? Like leave the airport now without getting shut down by the SAMs. But if he could get helis over here, or he could get bombers, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it would be the same question about they wouldn't really pay their investment back. But it's also expensive to just have it's sitting there doing nothing. And I just said I thought this would hold. Right now it's not looking too good actually. So it might not after all. This is very good. He's using the infantry to try to hit the SAMs. He's pulling the defense line even further back, which means these units have to travel very slowly in the mountains. I think that's another good decision by EnerGyz. And Plantblock is just, he's building his eco, lots of eco actually, and he's just throwing units at him because he's producing more at the moment. Or I don't know if he's producing more actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he's not actually producing more, but he just have the momentum. He has the block ready, and he might push through here. Luckily for EnerGyz, now it's Plantblock that's taking the toll of the slow moving units, so the reinforcements is further in between. And EnerGyz even puts down another barracks here. Okay, 2 more. So I don't know if that means he wants to keep on fighting even if he loses this, or if it's because he feels confident that he will hold this. He starts producing the helis again. He should maybe pull these units in from the side here. He could actually hit a decent amount of artillery. And he is doing that, but he's leaving a few behind. And he should avoid having them attacking this entrenchment, of course. Let's see if Plantblock caught up with the eco now that he got so many towns. 1100 versus 970. So EnerGyz still at a decent spot here. And these 3 barracks will probably make the difference up here. But I think this block is too big. I don't think he can come back from this, unfortunately. Down goes 1 factory. He's trying to use his artillery with the entrenchment and going for the SAMs with the infantry. He might need to gather as kind of an army of infantry rather than sending them in 1 by 1. He has plenty of money. A nuke would have been handy. And Plantblock sees the opportunity for attacking from other fronts now. And there is the nuke, okay. But yeah, that's just too late, I think. Maybe. Does have a decent amount of artillery entrenched now, and Plantblock is actually going in the defense mode here. Not sure why. And he's so busy with the front line, he forgot about these units for a moment. Same with EnerGyz actually. So maybe EnerGyz will hold on here. Oh well, he definitely will when Plantblock doesn't push. And I think Plantblock just put down a rocket as well. It did. EnerGyz is slightly ahead with the building time. And they are both on top of their capping units again. Plantblock could actually just send a few artillery down here. And now you see EnerGyz is building two ship, I keep calling them ship, airports. And Plantblock can't see it. It's a bit risky considering that he will lose this soon. But it's definitely also interesting because Plantblock doesn't have that many SAMs. These armies will soon see each other. And I think maybe Plantblock is starting to catch up with the eco. 1200. Yeah, and almost 1200. And now Plantblock is actually ahead with the rocket, because he could afford it. And he just haven't started building his yet. And this is exactly what I meant. This is very good play by Plantblock. Just taking these guys out without taking any damage himself. But I guess EnerGyz kind of accepts it right now. He's just waiting for the helis to finish over here. And EnerGyz managed to push back Plantblock a bit. And I bet this army maybe are meant to move across here. More eco from Plantblock. And some gas. Yeah, he actually needs quite a bit of more gas to launch the rocket. But EnerGyz is still yet to build his. And now they collide up here. And I think EnerGyz is slightly ahead unit-wise in this first confrontation. But of course Plantblock has quite a bit of extra units down here, but on the other hand it doesn't really have any producers. Easy's producers are a little bit closer. I don't know why he's reducing, seems like 3 commandos. And now EnerGyz got the helis up and running. But that's a lot of SAMs. You need a bunch of helis to beat that. They actually split up. So this is I think unfortunately also for EnerGyz, his helis also split up. So he will lose everything now. Almost. He puts down a factory. Yeah, this is not looking good for EnerGyz. And he's putting like scouting units across the whole map. He's afraid of any commandos, I guess. And this turned out to be not very good for EnerGyz, because he's just running directly into a wall here. Fortunately for EnerGyz, the eco is on his side. Now this rocket is soon to be ready. And EnerGyz will lose all of this, I think. And then when this rocket hits, that might be the turning point for EnerGyz. Yeah, this will all go down now, and in a minute this will go down, and then it will be a very tough game. Here we go. Ouch. That's was that 5 or 6 producers? And now Plantblock is pushing. It's a very good rocket. EnerGyz has begun to build his, but I think it's way too late, unfortunately. Plantblock is getting ready to transport some troops across. He doesn't need to move through this entrenchment. And I bet Plantblock is ahead with eco now. 1350 and 1370. Yeah. Plantblock slightly ahead now. This push only a rocket can stop, but it will be too late. Plantblock is literally just moving behind the entrenchment. EnerGyz haven't given up yet, but this will start to really hurt his eco. Not ego, but eco. Yeah, I thought that was funny. I don't know why. I apologize. This is a very good landing, because it also keeps EnerGyz from feeling too confident building eco here. And now Plantblock will just see how fast that goes. They were so close just before, like 10 in difference, and now Plantblock is 200 ahead. And that's how fast it goes when you just build a little bit more eco and you start to work your way into enemy territory. Each of these are 20. So if he gets, let's say there's maybe 20 here. Oh no, that's math. That's 400 that that Plantblock will suddenly have more income. EnerGyz is not giving up yet. He's building more eco. He did fend off this landing, but that just means there's a new one on the way. Plantblock has so much money now. Something can... his rocket can actually reach this. So you can dig in once again and just blow this up. Let's see how fast this goes now. 1630 and 1200. Like, it's so fast. And we'll see that on the graph in the ending screen, that suddenly Plantblock just takes off. I wonder if we can see the Empire value dropping with that nuke as it hit before. And might do again. We'll see if Plantblock even gets to use it. EnerGyz's rocket is almost ready, but he realizes he needs a bit more energy. It's not enough to have 30. $1,700 below 1,200. So don't underestimate the worth of capping your opponent's territory. Plantblock is feeling so good, he's just started to build eco here now as well. And he doesn't even get to use the rocket. And EnerGyz is trying to get those 40 energy. I bet he's just sitting and clicking right now on this rocket, waiting for those 40. And here you go. Exactly as we hit 40. And it will give him maybe some breathing room, but we'll just delay the a tough word inevitable. Well, you know what I mean. And once again here Plantblock can, I think it doesn't care now, so he will just rush it down, but he could just use his artillery to slowly kill this entrenchment. Another rocket. EnerGyz is trying to push up north. And he's doing the right thing. Like trying to push through just a small part of the entrenchment. There's no reason to fight it all. So he is kind of, I think he's actually now scattering a bit too much. Could have used maybe a blue line here. And he won't get far because there's a bunch of units over here. Air is on the way, ships are on the way. I think we all know where this is going now. Yeah, I might just put a little bit more speed on. think we know who the winner is. This might be EnerGyz, like his last attempt. And he did change it to a move command. I think that's the right call. That's how you move through a tough entrenchment. So I assume Plantblock has also won the first one, since, as I mentioned in the beginning, I don't see a third replay, which means Plantblock is moving on in the tournament in the losers bracket, while EnerGyz is actually kicked out of the tournament. That's the first player that I see that has been kicked out. And yeah, so very well played by Plantblock, and of course also EnerGyz. He just unfortunately was not able to win this. He's trying to build another rocket. But I don't think he'll ever get to fire that. And yeah, there you go. So EnerGyz, as far as I know, it's not certain because I don't know the results of the first game, and if they just have the third match yet to play that. But I highly assume that EnerGyz is now out of the tournament, and if that's the case, well played EnerGyz. Thanks for being part of it, and congratulations Plantblock for moving on. Very exciting to see how far Plantblock can get. Let's see if we can. This must be the nuke, and yeah, that definitely hurt. That's where Plantblock took off, but he's very close in the beginning, just as we felt, or just as like the game felt. But then Plantblock slowly started to gain some traction here, and that nuke really set them apart. But obviously it was already going well for Plantblock. He just had his whole army within EnerGyz's base at that moment, more or less. And EnerGyz had some momentum at one point. He had more eco, but he just had too few units at his main base, which meant that even though he had the eco advantage, he got overrun, and maybe also he didn't use his units just as well. And it's also just that Plantblock got that blob rolling in the beginning. That momentum counts so much. So you don't have to produce as many units because you just got that blob running. And this is where Plantblock starts to cap EnerGyz's territory. And yeah, it's fun to see how close it can be, and then suddenly it just completely takes off. So yeah, well played by both, and I hope you enjoyed watching this one as much as I did, and hope to see you in another game soon. Bye.